Okay. All right, got a few people here already. Can people hear me? Good, good. Good to know. Okay. Um, I'll let you know. I'm looking here to see who's here. Um, yes, this is the right place. Um, good. People can see me. People can hear me. I apologize now for you having to see me, but I'm glad you can hear me. Yes, yes, absolutely. This is the place to be. My name's Terry Power. Uh, if you're not in my group and you're visiting, welcome. Happy to have you here. The focus of my group is a bunch of us that use Ranking Factory and other tools of theirs to improve our use of time and thus make our life easier for us and better for us. Okay. We're not competing with each other. I'm not trying to get the same clients you are or anybody else in the room. So there's plenty of room on the globe for all of us. And we're all trying to help each other improve. To that end, I sometimes go over other ways you can use. Today we're talking about Ranking Factory and other ways you can use Ranking Factory that will enhance what you're already doing with it, if you're doing anything with it, and hopefully everybody is using it. I've been playing around with this Google Photos part module here. We find that in 2013, I believe it was, Getty Images took Google to court. If you recall, up until earlier this year, if you were searching in Google Images and you found an image, you could click on it and view the image. You didn't have to go to the website where the image was hosted. You could just go look at the image. Well, Getty Image, which has millions of images out there, did not like that. They thought if they're going to put an image on their website, you should have to go to their website to see it. So anyway, they settled their suit with Google earlier this year, February, in fact. And one of the terms of the settlement was that you no longer have that option to view image when you're doing an image search. Now you have the option of going to the page where it is to see it, seeing similar images, that sort of thing. But you no longer can just view the image solo within Google. That's good for anybody that has an image online. And thanks to Google Photos, we can have images online, right? So I have taken an image. This image here, and I optimize the back end of it. So it says, I gave it a name, Greensboro Local SEO. And if I look on the properties of this image, as I said, that's the title of it. Some of the details, of course, I gave it 5 stars because, hey, it's my, oh, I'm sorry. That's my bad. I'm sharing my screen, but not sharing what you guys want to look at. My screen sharing is paused. Okay, you see my RF now? Yes, you see my Ranking Factory. Okay. That was Madge is here too. But anyway, I optimized the back end of the image so that I've got all this metadata in it that applies to, because I'm, in this case, using Greensboro local SEO. So I've got all sorts of terms for various terms for for LSI for local SEO, and I've got some latitude and longitudes for Greensboro, so that I can make that relevant also. I'm just showing RF right now. I'm talking about the image, but I realize you're not seeing it right now, but that's okay. So if I give this the title, the folder name, the same title as my image name, make sure my image is checked. I put some text up here, including a NAP, put some text down here, including the NAP, and I just click on upload. That's all there is to it, right? Now, it's going to upload this photo into the folder that it creates on my account and carry that metadata with it. Right down here is the URL of that photo. So I can copy that URL and now that I have that URL, I can go over to DocStacker, for instance, and do a quick load of something I already had prepared and make that target URL of my buffer document that photo image. So now I can rank that photo, push it up so that it'll appear in images and hopefully on the front page of Google for the term Greensboro local SEO. Yes, it was uploaded by the software. Software creates a folder on my Google Drive and then puts that photo in that folder and makes it public and shared so that Google can index it and other humans can see it. Then I can put it in my documents here. Yes, you can do that for every account, any account, as many accounts as you want to put in here. I can make it the target URL. I can also, I go back here to Drive Photos. If you click on this link, it brings you to the photo. Now, can people see my photo? Because this share screen's messing with me a little bit. No, you can't see the photo. Okay, then let me go down here and click New Share. Okay, now I'm hoping you can see the photo. Yes, okay, good. And this photo is in my Google Drive, okay, in a folder that was created for it. Over here to the right, these three dots, if I click on them, one of the options is share. Well, how about that? That gives me a share link. I can click here and copy that I can include in my Google Sites if I want, in any of these Google Docs or articles, HTML pages, all sorts of things like that. Will Grabber be able to find it in the folder? Grabber will be able to, because I named the folder the same as the image. And the folder is public and the image is also public. So because Google settled out of court and got all this done, now when somebody sees an image on Google, they can't just copy this folder or copy this image. They look at the website, which means if you can get an image ranked that is from your website, people will look at it and the data will carry with it. You can get more traffic, such and such. I could have embedded in this image, not embedded, I mean had on the front part of the image could have been my phone number or any client's phone number if I've got a picture of a broken toilet or a broken tooth or for a dentist or things like that. A traffic ticket for a lawyer, things like that. Those images you can put on the front, super embed on the image the phone number of the client, the web address, obviously. Rank these images also. That's just one more way to rank a property on Google. The same image on 20 different accounts is fine, because each of these accounts is your Google Drive. You can put whatever you want on your Google Drive and share it. You can put a picture of Justin Bieber on your Google Drive if you want and share it, versus putting it on your website without any permissions. You can put it on your Google Drive. Okay. The advanced objects on the share are, you can make it so basically these options up here. People can edit, people can comment, things like that. Those are the advanced. I can click on it, but like I said, these are just, you can change your options here. Make it public on the web, make it anyone with a link, only certain people can see it, that sort of thing. Save that, and it's, save that particular way. But the share link is the important part. Okay. Can you show a ranked image? Well, gosh, guys, I mean, if we just Google, let's see, maybe water tanks, that might have one. Look at there, there's some images that are ranked. There's an image embedded in a knowledge graph. There's the maps. If I have, let's see, a Maserati, if I do a search for a Maserati, I'm sure that'll bring up some images. There we go. Here we go, images for Maserati. Yes, the more metadata you can smash in there that is relevant, the better. Because in this case, the search was just for Maserati. Okay, if I search for, I don't know, 1972 Maserati Bora, which is a little longer tail, then the competition will be a little less, obviously. Or DUI attorneys, probably not going to be a lot of images, but Google would like to have images for a lot of stuff. So you want to put not just metadata, but pertinent, relevant metadata, including geo for anything local. You can use those images for headers on G sites, footers on G sites, or just content on G sites, content in an article. If you have an article about cars, it's not unusual that there'd be a picture of a car in there, okay? Yes, these Google images keep metadata when they're uploaded to your Google Drive in the Google Photos. Okay, metadata stays. So that's just an example of all of the things, not all of, but a lot of things you can do with images, okay? And for those of you who aren't in my group, I don't always talk about images. We talk about different stuff. But these images can also be put on your GMB. If you want to rank your GMB, you can rank the images that you use in your GMB also. So having said that, I'm going to give Madge the microphone and let him talk about how he uses Ranking Factory, and he combines it with other stuff he's doing to rank his clients, mostly local, even though they're not all in the UK where he is. But let me click on, see if we can make Madge.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Hi.
Well, come on now. Oh, there we go. Participants, panelists. Unmute. So, Madge, you're unmuted now, I believe.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me nice and clear?
And I'm making you host also. I can hear you just clearly, just fine. So I want to introduce you. This guy is out of London, well, Birmingham, I believe, but in greater London area, and he's been killing it. This is the year for Madge and I, 2018, the year everything changes. We're going to both be blowing it out of the water, but Madge uses some methods that are different from some other people, but that's okay. That's the beauty of this software. You can use it so many different ways. And if you like what he has to say, get with him on Skype. And hey, take the chance to join my group. You'll see him in my group a lot too. But you take it over, Madge. You're the host now. You can share your screen if you want.
1 second, guys. Let me just share the screen. Okay.
All right, we can see your screen.
Excellent. Okay, let me just go back here for a second. Okay, guys, good evening to everyone. Terry, thank you for having me on. Really wanted to, have a webinar for the RF group and be part of it and show what I'm doing how I'm using Ranking Factory for my clients, as well as my own websites, which are ranking in the UK as well as abroad. I have between 20 to 25 clients right now, local and national. I cater for the UK market, American market, as well as Europe. So I've got clients all across the globe. Hopefully I'll show you a few methods that I currently use to rank my local clients for this webinar. So hopefully I'll be able to help, a lot of you in this group, as in how I utilize Ranking Factory. So I'll just go to it. Can you guys now see Ranking Factory come up?
Yes, we're getting yeses. People can see it fine.
Excellent. Okay. Just give you a bit of a breakdown, as in the type of clients I cater for. I cater for local, based in Birmingham, Solihull, West Midlands area, and London, Manchester in the UK. I've done clients in America, New York, Greensville, Orlando, as well as Australia and Germany and France. The reason I love to use Ranking Factory because it allows me to automate a lot of the stuff for Google properties. Okay, I tend to build a lot of content for a lot of my client websites. So we tend to blog on a regular basis, articles about the business, events that they're doing locally or nationally, or a new product that they may be selling. Okay, so I tend to use not all of the tools inside of RF. I will be honest. I use certain ones and I use them to my to the full potential. The most important one that I currently use is HTML Creator. And the reason I use this is because, let me just close this down for a minute. Wait there, pressing the wrong button. Reset form. Okay, the main reason I use this is due to the cloud. Me and Terry last year, when I joined RF back in September of last year, me and Terry, we didn't know one another then. We are very good friends now, as we tend to speak on a regular basis. We had a conversation one evening about how we could use the cloud within RF. So that is how cloud stacking came on board. And having the authority of Google Cloud, Amazon, the other one, Microsoft, as well as, GitHub, you got pCloud and Alibaba. So we've got so many to our arsenal right now. And what I tend to do is I create press releases for my clients. With the press release, I utilize the HTML creator. So I'm going to show one of my press releases that I did for a client, which is currently, 1 second, let me just bring it up. So they receive a report from my, they get a report for the press release that I've done for them. And all the pages get indexed in Google. Within Google, I get a copy of the PR that we've written for them, which shows up something along these lines. Then what I tend to do, guys, is I use Ranking Factory. If I just go back to RF, I use HTML Creator to utilize the same press release over again. I get asked the question, would it be duplicate content if I'm uploading the same information again? No, it isn't, because it's brand related, it's relevant to the industry, and you're syndicating it across other platforms. And if you're having everything brand related across the board, nothing, it ain't going to harm you at all. So when you're blogging something on a website and you're having it syndicated to a network, that's not duplication. It's only duplication when you're using the same content from one website to another website, not when you're syndicating content related to your business across the board, okay? So
and if you've created the content, you can distribute it as you see fit.
Exactly, yes.
So note, Madge is using this one piece of content, in this instance, this press release, and going to publish it all sorts of places. And that's, he can automate all that with Ranking Factory. I'm sorry, Madge, go ahead.
No problem. So what I want, I don't want to be, wasting your guys' time and showing you one by one as in how I do it. I'm just going to load one that I've done previously, which was about, as you can see, was today. So I had it ready for you guys. So what I tend to do, I use the same title again as the main cloud title. I tend to normally use a Gmail account, which is, again, brand related for the business. So this one is for the American Sign Shop. I would have a Gmail associated to that brand. So it would be the American Sign Shop at gmail.com, for example. So that would be in there. I would then use the meta description. I've just quickly created this one. So I would have the company name. I would have keywords in there. I would have the telephone number as well as the address again. Okay, so get as much information as possible in the meta description, because we've got 320 characters to play with. So the more information you can put in, the better. As you can see, when I come into the content section, I use a lot of HTML source. The basic source code, I'm not a web designer, I'm not a web developer, I've got my own team, but this is the basics I know. So I'll insert the full press release from start to finish, exactly as it's written as the PR, copy and paste inside of here. Put in the, the breaks, whatever they required. I would also put a YouTube video at the start. The same YouTube video that I've used in the PR, I would use over here. Then if I go down, I would also, again, put in the NAP, the name, address, and phone number for each of my local clients. And also center it just to make it look a bit nicer, okay? A lot of people ask me, do I use the map location? I don't tend to use this or the YouTube URL, because I tend to put my information inside of the main body of the content, okay? And the only thing I'll need to do here is get the map, which I can easily get, which I have opened here. So this is the same one for the American Sign Shop. So how I would get the embed iframe, I would click on the share button here, click on embed map. A lot of you guys and girls will know this. Some of the newbies may not know. You would copy the iframe from here. I would take it back into Ranking Factory, paste it in here. But I tend to, again, make it central. So put in that code.
And you're getting some thank yous, Madge, and there's a guy on here, in fact, that has PR credits with Press Cable, Chris Munch's group, but had not thought about using them this way, so he appreciates the insight. So.
No, I'm glad the information I'm giving is helping you guys, and hopefully the more information I'll give today, the more you'll take on and, go forward with. So I've put in the iframe. Next is a few keywords. Again, people ask me, I'm sure Terry gets asked this question as well. How many keywords should we target for the cloud property, or how many should we put in? I have a rule, and that rule is I don't go above 10, okay? The reason I don't go above 10 is because this is so easy to use. We can keep adding keywords to the next one. If we've got another PR or another article that we want to insert, why would you want to stuff so many keywords in here? Because what you're doing by stuffing too many keywords, you're diluting the power.
Right, right, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no sense putting in 10 or, 25 or 50 or more than 100. I mean, you're going to lose all that juice. You trickle it down to each link.
Exactly.
Well, put 6 to 10. I mean,
yeah. You just have a rule or have a plan of action, and consider that plan as in, I would want to use 5 to 10 keywords per PR, per article, per file that I upload to the cloud. So it gives you maximum results. Okay. And again, the target URL, again, a lot of people ask me, Madge, what do you target? Do you target the website? Do you target the inner page? What do you target? I tend to target two things. Either an inner page of two things. One is a buffer page, as in a tier 1 G site, a Blogger branded property, as in Blogger, Tumblr, WordPress, or even better, if it's a local client that you're targeting, why not target the GMB? Okay, so this link you're seeing here, or the short URL you're seeing here, is actually the GMB of the American Sign Shop. Okay, so what I've just done here, instead of clicking on embed map, I've clicked on send a link, and I've just copied this link here, the short link. Just copy that, put it back into target URL.
Cool.
And just click on convert.
And Madge,
go for it.
After your anchor text converts here, can you show us the preview? But you don't have to bother stacking it. We've seen cloud stacking. I mean, just as a time saver and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is now how the PR would look. So you would have the title at the top, which again, if you're stacking, you guys should know. This clickable link will go to another cloud property. I don't know why this isn't playing, but this is on my VPS, guys. So there's nothing wrong with the video because I've seen it work before. So the videos, again, as you can see, centralized. The contents inside of it. If I go down, you've got the address here, again, in the center. Just makes it look a bit more pretty. You've got the map, the Google map, as well as a few links. Now, I don't normally just stop here, okay? I don't just add 2 iframes and call it quits. I've just made this quick for you guys just to show you, so I don't waste too much of your time by showing what I can do. The other things I would add is a Google My Map, a photo image of some sort. Again, making it all brand related, okay? The more information you can stuff in here, the better. So once you've done all that, what I would do then is, I'm not going to cloud stack it like Terry said. You guys, I'm sure you've used it and know how it works. Click the ones that you want. I create each bucket brand related again. So everything is to do with the American Sign Shop.
Okay, couple quick questions, Madge. I'm going to interrupt you here on. One, Rob Mullins notes that in this case, you don't have the phone number in the title. And I'm going to guess that's because the press release, he's using the press release title.
Yes, I'm using the press release title. And the reason I don't have the phone number in there is because I've got it in the meta description, as well as I can't. I normally tend to do it. Yeah, right. I normally center it in.
The other question from Alex is wondering about if you use schema at all. And yes, I can tell you now, in this particular, where he's just using a press release, he's not importing schema per se in there. But this is just using the press release. But Madge does use schema in as part of his work. But
yes, I do. I do tend to use schema for my clients. But like I said, I'm just trying to show you guys the power of the HTML file creator and what it can do, what the cloud can do for your clients and for your businesses. You can add schema. You could add, a lot of information. The phone number again in the title. Because I'm copying the same title from the PR, I'm making sure it gets the maximum result. Okay, and because I'm syndicating it across all the properties.
Right, and Bridget's asking, does each bucket need a different access key? Yes, but when you set up your clouds, you're going to take care of all that. So once that's set up, then you don't need to worry about Bridget, which bucket you want to use for each. For this client, he might not use the same bucket he'd use for a locksmith.
Yeah. When it comes to PRs, what I tend to do, guys, I'll have a folder or a cloud bucket called PRs for each of my clients, for each cloud property. And then the bucket name would be the actual business name that I'm targeting. So I have everything organized. But Bridget, I saw your message on Facebook in Ranking Factory that you're having a bit of trouble with a couple of the cloud properties or getting them, or working for you. Just to, hook myself up or, touch base with Terry on Skype. I'm sure we can help you and get them fixed, or one of the other guys in the Skype group is willing to help. Okay. But
a couple more questions in here, Madge. I don't mean to keep stopping you. Somebody wants you, if you could clarify what you're talking about when you say a branded Gmail account. Can we use a personal Gmail account that we have already loaded into RFR? Certainly you can. But keep in mind, if you go into Google not logged in at all, you can create a new Gmail account right now. Don't wait till the webinar's over, but you can go ahead and create one and name it anything you want that's not already taken, which means you can always add a zip code if Don's Locksmith is already taken. You add your unique zip code to that business or something like that to make Gmails. But
no, I've got
this process. He does use, creates personal Gmails for the businesses.
Yeah, I have got, generic Gmail addresses that I use for my own sites, but for my clients' sake, because they want to see reporting and they want to see it on a regular basis at the end of each month, I can then show them, look, I've created this Gmail account. I've got everything recorded, so I can show them at the end of each month what I've done for them, okay? So it makes life easier for me. And if in the future, if they decide to, oh, Madge, you know what? Thank you for your time. Thank you for, getting us on page one, but we no longer want you now. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye. Kind of thing. Then I've still got access to that Gmail account because I've created it. I can just go in and delete everything that I've done, But I don't tend to do that because I know within 2 or 3 months, once they start dropping off page one, they'll be phoning me again.
Yeah, and coincidentally, that's just when your prices have gone up. How about that?
Exactly. So if they want me back, they've got to pay double price.
Somebody also has a question here on the order you're using. You use in CloudStack. Do you have a favorite order when you're
Not
stacking?
really. To be honest with you, the only one that I don't tend to use out of 6 right now is pCloud. No reason. I just don't use it. But the rest I do use. But I don't really have a generic order. I just pick and choose because remember these guys. The first 4 are very powerful. Okay. That's a DA9495. And then you got Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. Amazon, I think, has got the largest cloud, section online. So Amazon's very powerful. So is Google. But I don't normally have a generic. I just pick and choose whichever one I want and click on the order and just click stack.
Hopefully, everybody in here has heard of Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. They're pretty big boys in the business. So.
Yeah.
You got a wow in here. I'm getting so many ideas already. I just recently joined, and my head is spinning in a good way.
Guys, I've just started.
glad to hear. But yeah, Madge is just dipped his foot in the water so far.
Yeah.
So
I've just eaten. I opened my fast about an hour ago, so I'm just waking up. Getting ready to show you guys what I can do. So again, the cloud is very powerful. I tend to use this as a go-to for each of my clients straight away because it's very quick. Click of a button, it's on the cloud, job done. Don't wait on indexing it. Because I hear a lot of questions in the RF group. Guys, what are you using for indexing? I don't use anything. Okay, I let it happen naturally. Well, I've got another trick which I will share later on, but I tend to allow it, just let it happen in natural course. You just keep building what you need to build for that client, and you'll see that client move up sooner, rather later than sooner. But you'll see it. So this is what I do. Any other questions on HTML Creator before I move on?
What do you guys think? You understand pretty much taking that press release if you have one and using it on HTML Creator? Apparently, yep, got it. Yes, this makes a lot of sense. Good. Yeah, I think go ahead and move on, Madge. Let's show them what else you like to do.
Okay, once I've once I've got the report back from for one of my clients, I just need to show you something quickly. 1 second, guys. I thought I already had this up, but I didn't. Let me just open this quickly. I tend to get a file of a CS3 file. Yes, open Excel. So I tend to get a report back for each of my clients with around 450 plus links, okay? Now imagine what I can do with 450 links within
Now, before you go any further, each of these links is one link to the client?
Yes, each of these links is a separate link for the client. So there's 450 news and media sites in here, 450 plus. So this one's got, sorry, I keep missing it for some. There you go, 449 links in here, which are going to different pages back to the client's site, GMB. So for this client, I've targeted the GMB, which I will show you.
These are all these links are from your press release distribution, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, there you go, Rob. Rob was wondering if that's what these links are. Yes, this is where the places where his press release was published.
Okay, so what I tend to do, guys, is I would say for this example, I'm just going to copy 10 of the links, bring them back into RF. There's two things I can do, okay? We've got the beauty of using the shortener, okay? Which we can, create and make more links of. Or the one that I love using right now is Google Sheets, okay? I can just paste them in here, put in a keyword. So for this, I'm just going to call this test 1 as a keyword, but you get the gist of you would use a keyword regarding the client or the business, or test 2. So once you've done that, I always tick this box because it gives you the ability to have not just the URL, the naked URL, but also the two keywords, the secondary keyword and the main keyword in the sheet. So once you've done that, just click on load and it'll create the file. Oh, sorry, before I carry on. In here, what I would do is go back into HTML Creator. And I would copy the address as it is, bring it over to Sheets, and put it in the description in the comment section with the phone number, okay, guys? I know I don't have it in here, but I would normally put in the phone number as well. And I would put a few keywords. Again, my rule is no more than 10 keywords. Put them in there, and you've got keywords in here as well. Main keyword, secondary keyword, as well as the naked URL. Then I would load it, put it up in the Google Drive. I don't just stop there. I then create an iframe of the Google Sheet.
There you go.
Yeah. Create an iframe. I'll bring it back into HTML Creator. Upload it, and then
add it in, so you embed it too. Real quick, Scott's got a question here. He's saying, well, you're not using all those PR links because many of them will die out after a while. And if that's the case, which ones should we focus on? No, normally Madge would use all of them. This helps keep them alive and is another use of that content. Now, some of them will roll off of the page after a period of time, and nothing you can do about that. But if you do them all, put them all in Sheets, embed them in your G sites, your HTML creator, things like that, the ones that don't die away are going to be built up and given more juice and last longer. They'll have a longer life on the web, longer life giving you other juice.
Yeah, the reason I tend to, yes, one of the main reasons I do copy and paste every single link, whether it's 450 or 500 links, I'll copy and paste every single one in there because I'm trying to drive traffic to those PRs as well.
And can you show the preview of this Sheets real quick? Just so people can see if they're new to the software, what this looks like. It's a slide. Can
you see it?
Spreadsheet is what it is. It's an Excel spreadsheet basically that you're forming. How do you build an iframe from Sheets? Well, if you go into your G Drive, you have an opportunity to share this when you run this, it puts this spreadsheet in your Google Drive, makes it public, and shares it on the web, publishes it. You can go in there and share it and get a share link to embed it, and then you can embed it in these other properties. Mm-hmm. Just a basic iframe. When I say basic iframe, if you have questions about iframes, I'm going to assume you're not in my group, because I've done videos on using iframes to embed in stuff like that. But if you don't want to join the group, just Google it, because all this stuff can be done by hand that Madge is doing, but not nearly as quickly.
Nowhere near as quickly.
Dilute the juice. No, embeds don't dilute the juice. Embeds enhance the juice because they spread it around to other places. If you have
an iframe embed is a do follow link, guys. So
right. They are do follow, and if you have the sheets on your drive, looking at the 10 he copied, there's 2 other links, so you got 30 links in this spreadsheet. And this is just with 10 of them, not all 449 or whatever. So you've got 30 links right here, and when you embed them, that's 60 links, because now it's embedded somewhere else. You embed it somewhere else, that's another, you're up to 90 links, and so on and so forth. Embedding them doesn't dilute them because it puts them on different properties.
But one of the things, guys, which I've not, touched on right now, but I want to, is you've also got the ability to change the languages of the sheet. So, I tend to use, again, around 3 or 4. So I'd use French, Italian, Spanish, for argument's sake. Click on it, and then, choose the order that you want them in. And when you run the translation multiplier, it will publish the sheet in English, in French, in Italian, and in Spanish. So you got 30 times 4. Okay, so I've got 30 links in here, times that by 4 different languages, uploaded, create 4 different iframes, stick them into the cloud. Away you go. Click, sorry, wrong button. Click on get your cloud buckets, click on cloud stack, job done. Move on to your next client. The beauty of RF, guys, is it allows you to automate a lot of the stuff. Okay, doing this manually, me and Terry, we've done cloud stacking manually, and each one would take me 20 minutes to half an hour to get it perfect, and then move on to the next one. Whereas the save and load feature in here saves me so much time and effort, because I've already saved this. I can reset the form. Everything's now disappeared. I can then, if I'm using another client, I could load in the template, just change out the information, and, stack again.
And not only does it save you go from being 20 minutes to build a set of clouds that are stacked, instead in 3.5 minutes you can do it, which means you've got 17 minutes. That means you could do it in 4 more languages in the amount of time you used to do it in 1. So yeah, this savings of time means you can do more work for your clients, and so your clients get even better rankings. They love you longer. Drew says, sorry, just got here. Who provides content? Sorry if this was answered. Actually, Madge is going over. He's using a press release as his content. He distributed a press release, and now he's showing what he's doing with that content otherwise on RF. And Drew, catch the replay, because when the webinar is over, I post the replay in my Facebook group and my Skype group, so that will explain whatever you missed. But and if you look at some of the other things people have said in here, you've missed some stuff that will matter. Drew, Madge is going to go over that shortly here.
Okay, you ready, guys? Okay. The other thing I can do with my press release and use over here, which I'm testing currently, is I can create a sheet out of the press release, and I can use Ranking Factory's beautiful tool to upload as well. I could put in
slides.
Yes, slides, sorry, yes.
That's okay.
Slides. So I can create a slide of the PR. So I put the content in, page 1, page 2, page 3, and so forth, depending on how much information is in that PR. Put in the title of each page, put in the target URL, put a YouTube URL. If you've got images, put images in there. You've got a description section as well, and you can upload that too. So the slides, again, guys, it's another Google property. And all you're doing is you're using the same content over and over again. You're rinsing and repeating the process. And because it's relevant for the industry, you're not going to get, slapped for it. It's going to work in your advantage, and you're syndicating it across different platforms. You use the cloud, you use the sheets, you've used now Google Slides as well. So you've used 3 out of the modules inside of RF. So it is very, very powerful. And the other thing I do really love to use right now is called the Doc Stacker. And thank you to Leon, who took his time out to show me. That's Dr. Leon, who showed me how to use it when it came out and how to utilize it. So again, the one I tend to use, I don't tend to use the buffer document that much. The keyword document I do use. What I tend to do in here, put in again 20 keywords. So for argument's sake, if I go back to, I may have closed that off. I don't know why I did that, but let me just load it in quickly. Okay, so we've got these keywords here. We can copy these, take them over to Document Stacker, put the keywords in here, and you would use, another 5, 10, 15, 20 keywords, as many as you like in here. Then again, the description would be the NAP. So what I tend to do is, again, use the name, address, and phone number if it's a local client. If it's a national client, guys, just use their business name, address, whatever you want to use, with the phone number, the URL, the target URL that you want to target. So I would go over here again.
Real quickly, Madge, somebody's asking about up there where you have your keywords. How many keywords would you normally put in that box?
I wouldn't go, well, I tend to put in about 20 to 25 inside of here.
Okay. I don't go over 50, but I've done 40 before.
Yeah, so everyone's got a different rule for.
But it's much different than the HTML creator. It
is, yeah. But with this, you got the ability to upload as a HTML file. Not only that, as a PDF. And then once you put your target URL inside of here. But what I tend to do in the description and comment section is put the target. If it's a business that I'm targeting in a page for, I tend to say I'll go to the sign shop quickly. One sec. There it is. So this is their website. So if I want to target one of their pages, where is their pages? Interior signage. I would copy that, bring it back over to RF, and paste.
Maybe you paste it.
All right, it's not liking it for some reason. Oh, there you go. It worked the second time. So you could use the same URL again inside of the description section and use a different target URL for the main page. Well, it depends where you're pointing this keyword document to. It could be to a GMB, it could be to an inner page, it could be a tier 1 property, whether it's a G site, whether it's a blog account or a post. There's so many different avenues you can target this page for, okay? Again, once it's uploaded as a HTML and a PDF, I go one step further. I then get the iframes of those pages and also put them in the cloud.
Okay, I'm going to stop you a couple of questions here. Somebody asked about press release, do follow and no follow links. The links in press releases, do you have any do follow links in your press releases or?
Yes, I do. I will go over that once. I will go over the PR stuff.
All right. That's okay then. Another question people are asking, let's see, you could share it through social platforms, such as Facebook. Somebody wants to know, and yes, that's good. I'm glad you suggested that. the goal of all of us is for you to try stuff, try something new, try doing it that way. And if it works, you come back and you let Madge and I know so we can improve our processes too. If he can get you, if this little presentation of his gets you thinking of new ways to use the software and the products, go for it. That's great. Ed's asking you, Madge, do you always upload both the HTML and the PDF, or do you just do the HTML? Or
I do both. I always do both.
I do too. That's another property just for clicking a button, clicking a little thing. So,
it's already done. So,
have you ever used the sitemap? Have you tried using the sitemap and doing the same thing? I'm assuming they're meaning that as a target URL. I'm not sure.
GMB map?
They're just saying the sitemap, so I guess it could be for maybe for client work, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I don't tend to target what I tend to target the keyword document for is either a tier 1 property, as in what I mean by tier 1, guys, is I'll have around 20 properties that are brand related for the business. So for this one, it could be the American Sign Shop.wordpress.com, could be Weebly.com, could be Tumblr.com for argument's sake, could be Blogger.com. So I would target the keyword document for that actual property, okay? I don't tend to target the GMB for this.
Okay, so there you go. And Drew, and they were talking about using the sitemap as your target URL. Yeah, I've not done that, but it's worth a shot. Try it and see if you can do it in a test environment where you're not trying a bunch of other stuff, so you can see whether or not that will move the URL at all. Mm-hmm. Drew says, Madge, you mentioned you like to use the keyword document more than the buffer document. But is it safe to link all those keywords in keyword document function to your money site URL? Well, I'm going to throw in my answer to this, even though they're asking you. It does say.
No, go for it, Terry.
If your target URL is a Google property and the GMB is, it'll take all the juice you want to send at it. You're just putting anchor text in. These keywords are just anchor text. That's why you're not going to put 250 or 400 in here if you're going to your money site. But if you're doing 20, that's not a big deal. You can send that to your money site, no problem.
Definitely. Yeah. The other thing in the GMB now, because we've got the ability to create a GMB website through the GMB now, we could also target that URL rather than targeting the actual GMB. So you're targeting a buffer page for argument's sake, which is again related to the business. Right,
and Patrick's saying that's the same way with his idea behind the sitemap. It would target all the pages on that sitemap, so the entire website, in theory.
Try it, guys. Let us know, because that's something I've not tried. So try it. Let us know if it works.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If it works, it'll be wonderful.
Exactly. The other thing, guys, I tend to use a lot is the article stacker, because it allows you to, not have one, but 5 different articles. So I will go over the PR stuff quickly. So what I tend to do is, right there, I'll go here because it's already showing up. So imagine this is the press release now. It's around, I think, 600 words in here. I would copy that and I would use Spin Rewriter. I would put it in Spin Rewriter and create a nice little spun version of the article. I would then bring the spun version. Unfortunately, I don't have the version right now, so I can't really show you it. But I would come into, so you'd have to imagine, you would come over here and put in the spun version inside of here. So I'll just copy this to just save time. So imagine this is the spun version. Sorry, my Mac's just playing up a bit.
That's okay. And somebody's asking, if you're not using buffer docs, how are you controlling that client juice? Again, I think going back to, if a client fires you kind of thing, you can't just point the juice elsewhere.
The way I can control that is I've got the tier 1 properties all linked, and I've created one of my VAs has created all of them. So we've got access to passwords. So if they tend to or decide to say see you later, Madge. I will, say to my VA, delete, delete, delete.
And if he's got control of the Gmail account in that drive that's holding all that stuff, he could just go in and say, take it from public to private till they call back.
That's it, yeah.
And decide they want to hire us again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Vic, there will be a recording available in my groups. Usually it's an hour or so after the webinar is done that the recording has been rendered and everything. But there will be a recording posted in my Skype and Facebook group.
So, okay, guys, imagine this was a spun version of the main article, okay? So I wouldn't have the YouTube video, so I'll just delete that for now. So imagine this is a spun version. You would click on spin. It would then go and create 5 different versions for you, put them in here. So you got 5 different versions. You would then choose or add 5 different titles for each page. So you got the main title up here, and you got 4 others down here.
And those are just variations on the same title, pretty much?
Yes, pretty much. Then you use a target URL. Again, the choice is yours, what you want to use. What I tend to use the article stacker for is to point juice to my cloud properties, okay? I either interlink them, or again, I'll use the buffer pair, the G site, buffer site that I've created for the client. But I also enable translation stacker. And the reason I do this, again, give it more, just give it more juice. So you've got the ability not just have English, but when you've got come here, you can then choose again. French, Italian, Spanish, whichever language you love.
So you're going from 5 articles to 10, 15, 20, 25 articles.
25 articles pointing to one target URL.
And all the articles are unique because you spun the 5 and then they're translated, so they all end up in unique articles.
Yeah, so if you, as you can see, the trend with the way I work is I've used one press release in 1, 2, 3, 4 different modules inside of Ranking Factory. And the article stacker, again, because it's spinning 5 different versions of it, it allows me to point it to any property I want. Could be a cloud property, it could be a G site, it could be a blogger page, it could be whatever I want, Facebook, whatever I want to point it to, I can. So once you've done that, uploaded it to the G drive, again, you got the ability as a HTML doc or a PDF. I then go inside the Google Drive for that client for that particular day, create, get all the iframes for whichever module I've used, slides, sheets, the article stacker. I'll get all the iframes, put them inside the cloud. Okay, I do that for every single property that I create, because again, everything's done so quickly for you from start to finish.
Right. And that's very powerful to take that content, repurposing it, using it again and again and again, and suddenly he's going to have 50-some properties out there from this one press release, maybe more than 50. I guess by the time you do sheets in 20 translations and you had 30 links in each one, I mean, that's going to really add up there. And for those of you that got here late, Madge has been talking. I've been interrupting him. I'm Terry Power, okay? Just so you know, I'm Terry Power. If you're in my group, you've heard me before, but my group is where the recordings will be. I'm not Joe the Goat Farmer. I'm using Joe's nice enough to let me use his Zoom webinar software, so that it shows up for some people that I'm Joe the Goat Farmer, and I am not. I'm not that good a guy. Joe's a great guy and has been very helpful to me, but just so you know, so it's okay if you're not, I shouldn't say it's okay if you're not in Joe the Goat Farmer's group, but the Terry Powers groups is where the webinar replays will show up. So if you're a member there, don't worry about if you're a member in Joe's group or not. Okay, I'm sorry, Madge. Go ahead with your presentation, because
yes,
asking about when you're using the translation in Article Stacker, does it translate just the titles or the whole articles?
The whole articles.
It is the entire article. It translates the titles, the articles, keywords,
The
and
keywords, whatever you put in the description.
but in Spanish or Russian or Finnish or Swedish or Thai or Welsh or whatever languages you've picked.
Yeah, whichever one you've picked, it will go and replace all the content inside of the original article, plus the keywords, all of these titles. It will replace everything.
And just a point of when it replaces those titles, the length of the title in your document titles is about 80 characters. Because of the way some languages work, a translation could be more characters than the original. So don't be making it every title 80 characters long. Keep it in there so that in 60 range, so that if the translation were to be longer, it wouldn't stop your software because of that.
And one last tool that I really want to go over, because I've started testing it thanks to Terry's video on Google Calendar. Guys, this is I really want Terry to go over it because he's been using it more than me and myself. But it allows you to have 48 links sent to any property each day, right, Terry?
Well, actually, it creates 48 events, an event every half hour throughout the day. So 48 events a day, but you can have your target URL and a link in the content. So you can have 96 links a day, because both those links don't have to be to the same. And I did a video last week on calendars. So check it out if you haven't seen that. Somebody says they notice you're using version 1.7.7. Yes, that is available to everyone.
Special.
It's in the RFR group. It's in Terry's tips and strategies groups. Yeah, that is the newest version, and everyone can have it.
Yeah, I think it was released a couple of days ago or yesterday. I can't remember now.
Yeah, Madge is going to go over the press release stuff. That's what he's doing in here. So,
okay, I'm going to start going over the press release stuff now, guys.
Okay, just a second, Matt. Dirk mentioned that the version 1.7.7 is also available on the training document that has all the videos for the different modules that Leon did for us. It's up at the top of it is the installation files for 1.7.7, both the full install and the update, and either of those can be run with you having it already on your system. It doesn't matter which one you use, it'll still keep your details and can be installed right over your current version. But don't do that now. Right now you're listening to the webinar. You can do that later.
Okay, do we have any questions, Terry, on any of the stuff that I've gone over, or is everything all good?
I think it's all good. They've had, I think we've covered everything. Yes, it's the full install and the update are both there in the doc area. But you can look at them after the webinar. Okay, go ahead, Madge. Let's get into the good stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a little, training, not a training session, but of some sort, but just the way I use RF. Like I said, I joined Ranking Factory last September when they were still using UBot, which a lot of you guys may not know about, but they decided to go with the beautiful C++ version, which I think was the best option ever, because it's so quick, so reliable, and I hardly see it break down for me. Since September, I started off with 10 to 15 clients. Within that time frame, I've added another 10 clients on board. But RF's given me the ability, because I've been able to speak to a lot of people abroad now, America, Germany, France, Australia, thanks to RF, because they've got so many vast array of people in the group. But the main things I would love to say is RF has a community where they love to share the ideas, which I don't normally tend to see in a lot of Skype or SEO groups, okay? Whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Skype. And that's one thing I need to say about RF, which has allowed me to take my business to another level. And like Terry said at the start, 2018 is going to be my and Terry's year because, again, guys, you need to start thinking outside the box, as in how a tool of this nature can help you and help your business, okay, and move you forward. It's definitely helped me. And the other thing I'd love to share with you guys right now is the PR service. I don't use any other PR service out there. I have my own PR company, which I set up going back 3 months ago, which a lot of people in the RF Skype group, people like Patrick, Gary, Terry, Leon, have really pushed me to bring forward, because the results that I was getting from my clients wasn't 2 or 3 months later. It was more like within a week to 2 weeks. My clients were jumping up from page 3 to page 1. If they were in the map pack or in the 3 pack, whatever you want to call it, the GMB pack, they were either position 6, 7. I've taken clients from position 21 in the GMB all the way to the top 3 within 2.5 months. Not trying to boast. I'm just trying to show you, if you have a plan of action, you have a strategy in mind, don't just, use it and keep implementing it. Don't overcomplicate SEO. Simplify it. The more you simplify it, the better results you'll get. And the structure that I have, I keep to it, okay? And I keep going back and back to it. So I can, if there's a new tool that's come on board, I'll try to add it somewhere in my strategy and implement it and see what it can do for me. Because right now, brand, relevancy, and authority are very, very important. That's content, is very important. Content, relevancy, and authority, in my eyes, is important. So we're using the cloud, we're using Google properties, high DA properties, with content that's unique, that's relevant, that's going across each of your brands. So you're building that SEO plan for your client and getting them ranked organically as well as the GMB, whether it's a national, whether it's a local client. Now, with this press release service that I do, I think one of the questions, Terry, was, are my links no follow, or they do follow? The unique selling point of my PR service is I can add up to 5, 6, 7 do follow links inside of a PR. Now,
Did everybody hear that? Up to 7 do follow links inside the PR. There's still some no follow in there also, but so keep that in mind, Rob. I've used Press Cable before, but they don't give you that many do follow links. But Press Cable is a good service. I just think Madge's come up with a better one.
Yeah, well, with me, I don't think like another PR company, which they provide you with a report, provide you with a PR that's done out, distributed, and that's job done. Thank you very much. Got your money. See you later, kind of thing. I wanted to build this business from an SEO point of view, okay? As in, how can it help me as an SEO business or marketing agency that's trying to move forward? So me and my partner have decided, okay, what we could do, something special or something different, is try adding as many do follow links as we can, and try embedding as much as we can inside a PR. If you can see on this PR, this is the company's logo, okay? This is an actual embed inside of a PR, which is a do follow link, which is going back to the client's site. These links inside of the content are all no follow links. So anything in the body of the content is always going to be no follow, okay? You can see in the middle, I've got a YouTube video. Again, it's a YouTube video, which is a do follow link. It's an embed iframe. I've got more, I think 4 or 5 no follow links and 5 do follow links inside of here. Then I've got a Google map, which is another iframe, which is going back to the client's GMB. Then I've got the client's name, address, and phone number inside of here, plus the website URL. Okay, so I've got the ability not just to add this to one PR, but then multiplying it by actual 450 links. So imagine you've got 5 do follow links, and then times that by 450 sites. That's the power of my PR service.
That's a bunch of links.
That's a huge amount of links. And that's, people say to me, oh, Madge, but press releases always die. Yes, they die within 2 or 3 months down the line. But what you can do with the PR, guys, is the first thing I do with the PR, I add it to the client's money site blog. Why do I do that? Because it's always there. It's live. It's on their website. I'll use the same title as the PR. Before it gets distributed, it goes on the blog, okay, the money site blog, with the same content, keywords pointing to either an inner page or the GMB, whichever you prefer, or to a national, if it's a national site, to an inner page or whatever links, wherever you want to send them to, okay? And then once it's uploaded on the blog, I tend to normally have a syndication network behind the money site blog, which has between 20 to 30 properties behind of it, a tier 1 property network, okay? So once I upload it onto the blog, it gets distributed to those 20 properties or syndicated across those properties through either IFTTT or SendWire. So I've got it already linked and going out to all those properties virally with syndication, and it's been distributed. And then once that's done, I then distribute it to the 450 news and media websites. Okay.
Wow.
So
Before you go further now, I want to read a couple things in the chat box here.
yeah, it gives me time to drink some water.
from Patrick Tuttle, he says, FYI, Gary and he 100% recommend this and urge you to think about adding it to your plan of action. They don't do this often. It has to be something that meets their test, and Madge is a winner for this. They were able to get, well, I don't know if I want to say that. They say that you're willing to give a pretty good price on your PRs to people in the RF group. But they said, keep in mind, this is a PR service, integrated, aligned, made with RF in mind. I mean, so it's a great, I think it's a great service. I've used it and will continue to use it. But if you just like Rob, if you've already got press release credits, you've seen some of the things you can do with them with RS, whether you're using Madge's press release service or not. He has
I've heard a lot of
advantages to his that other people don't have. All those do follows for one. Plus, he's a member of our community. He's easy to reach if you have questions and stuff like that. But you are getting some great praise here. Dirk says, you're sincere and helpful to work with. You're not pushy. Ed says this stuff is very, very powerful because you're backing the PRs up with your high DA social properties with SendWire, IFTTT, and such like that. People they can use sheets with it. Okay, I just wanted to read some of that stuff.
No, thank you for the nice comments. Guys, with myself, what you see is what you get. I don't talk a lot of BS because in the SEO industry, I've come across a lot of BS, okay? People have said, oh, we can do this, we can do that, but they don't, they can't actually do what they say. A lot of us have been hurt with buying, we've bought tools in the past which promise the world but don't deliver nothing. With me, I hope I come differently because I'm very passionate about SEO, okay? I've been doing it for 10 years, and this is the only first business I've offered to the SEO community because I think it's valuable and it's different because, again, a lot of people have used other PR companies out there, and they're good in their own ways, and they're not so good in some ways. I'm not saying I'm the best out there, but I'm trying to be different, okay? And hopefully you see that value because I don't know whether there is another PR company out there that can offer you 5, 6, 7 do follow links inside of a PR. And those do follow links are actual iframes that I can insert inside of a PR. I know Press Cable can get 1 or 2 inside of it. PR Web, again, maybe 1, maybe 2, I don't know. But they charge an arm and a leg. Compared to the prices I charge, okay? I will show you what the original pricing or the normal pricing is. This is not for you guys because, again, you're the RF community and I want you to, like Patrick and Gary have said, and I appreciate they giving me this opportunity to show you guys what I can do, okay?
I see here it says this includes placement in Google News also.
Yes, sorry, I didn't even go over that. Yes, I get into Google News and all the top American websites that you can think of. ABC, NBC.
And
Fox.
these prices including having the press release written for us. We don't have
Yes,
to shoot them up.
it's a full done for you service, as in the PR's written, distributed from start to finish. I've got a full backend system which I've had developed from start to finish, where you pick the package you want, you get the credits onto your account, and then you fill in a form online. And I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for you guys. So once it gets you fill in that simple form. The only information I'll require from you is either a topic. If you can't think of a topic, guys, just put in there, Madge, think of a topic. Okay, my team will go out, choose a topic for your business or your industry, and write on your behalf, send it over to you for your approval, and then we distribute it thereafter. Okay, you also get my support because a lot of guys and girls have already ordered from me, and I'm sure they will vouch for me, where I don't just tell them, okay, here's your PR, thank you, bye-bye. I tell them what to do with that PR. You could use, press cable, you can use PR web, but they don't go that extra mile, which with me, I tend to, because I want to help you guys try to achieve what I've achieved so far. So this is the original pricing. For one PR, I tend to charge $99 and so forth, silver, gold, platinum. So for Terry's group, I did originally have an offer, which also applies to you guys. Please ignore this slide for a second, which I will go over in a minute. Where I normally charge $99, I'm charging you guys $80, and that's it for one press release. Again, written, distributed, with all the embeds, whatever, do follow links, map, Google Map, YouTube video, logo, all inside of one PR.
Bridget said she's ordering today, and I just talked to her earlier to make sure she's got her clouds loaded and ready. We got her Azure and her Alibaba straightened out, so she's ready to use them on the clouds as soon as she gets her press releases going and ready to go.
But the other side of this, which I want Terry to explain to you guys, and then I will go over it. Terry, if you don't mind.
Okay, but also I want to say one thing Madge does is if you order, say you ordered 3 or 4 press releases, these press releases are not independent of each other. He stacks them like our Google stacking works, so that each press release reinforces the previous one, which means those links that you're using, when he showed you those 450 links, are getting other juice coming from the next press release you do, as well as from all your Google properties that you set up. So it all works really well together.
Yeah, I am currently doing a test, guys, where what I tend to normally do is I do a press release, I cloud stack it, I then article stack it, and so forth. I'll wait about a week or 2 weeks for the other second press release to go out, and make sure when I'm doing the second PR, I'll have a link inside the second PR for the first one, okay? So it's stacking one after the other. So the one that's ranking the highest in Google for that actual term, whatever keyword you're targeting, I'd find that link in Google, put it back inside the PR for the second PR for that to be distributed to the network. So you're building links to the previous one as well as the second one, okay? So you're stacking. So for this to be very, very powerful, I tend to do 3, 5, whatever it takes for me to get that client on page 1 with using RF's tools. This is not me trying to sell my service, guys. I'm just showing you a way of how to use RF, whether it's with my service, whether it's with an article service or content that you have, you could use, upload to RF and cloud stack it, article stack it, create a G site, do whatever you need to do to move that needle up.
So if you see on the right of your screen that Magic PR done for you, this service at $179, which is less than a PR web press release. This is a press release. After it's done, Madge's team then does the cloud stacking for you in the 6 properties. Then they do the keyword document and descriptions in both HTML and PDF, the article stack in HTML, PDF. So they're going to take this press release, not only write it for you, distribute it to 450 places, including Google News. Then they're going to take the content of that, do the cloud stack, do the keyword document article stacking for you, embed it in iframes, use it in Google Sheets for you, and insert the NAP if you're doing local in every one of those, in all those properties, those Google properties for you. So then when you're going to get back from Madge, not just a report of 450 or whatever locations the press release is, you're also going to have a list of the cloud properties that have that press release on it, the keyword docs, the article stacks, your Google Sheets, all those properties that have that press release and the content from it out there distributed on your Google properties for you. Mm-hmm. And that means not only do you get it all done for $179, you then have a recipe that then you can say, I'm going to order another one, just the $80 one, and try doing the rest of it myself now that I can see exactly what he's done because I've got a copy of the recipe from the first one. So it's a great jumping in point with a new client. Have Madge do it all for you, and then you can follow his steps on your next one and just order a press release and do all the rest yourself if you want. Once you think you can, you've got a handle on it. If not, he'll keep doing it for you. That's okay. But it's up to you. This stacking of press releases, though, really powerful. PR Web's $360. Okay, that's not they don't write it for you for that. That's for their distribution. And of course, they don't put it in a Google stack or iframe it for you or build you Google Sheets or article stacks or anything like that for it. So, that's a great deal. If you got press releases, like Rob said, he has press release services through Press Cable. Keep in mind, Madge has showed you some uses for those press releases. If you don't have Press Cable already, have credits, save some money and let Madge do some for you. I was impressed with the results, and I saw results for my client, and he's good to, you can always reach out to him either in my group or in the RF group and say, hey, I got a question. He doesn't mind, sharing. He's a great member of this great community we've got set up.
Yeah, and the only reason I brought out the Done For You service, guys, was Patrick touched base with me and said, Madge, you're going to come across people that are new to the group, that don't have the time or haven't, learned each of the processes. So are you willing to do the Done For You for them? And, using your strategy from start to finish. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. So you, like Terry said, you'll get a recipe from me, as in what I've shared on the webinar. That's exactly what I'll do. The HTML keyword document, the PDF, the cloud stacking, and embedding them, the iframes, as well as inserting in Google Sheets. I'll do everything for you with the PR stacking done, depending whether you order 1 or whether you order 3, whatever it could be. Just to show you the power of the press release combined with RF. The press release service on its own, yes, it's powerful, but not as powerful if you use RF on board, because you're using high DA properties with the PR pointing to any website you want, whether it's a URL, a target URL as in your money site, whether it's a GMB, a buffer page, whatever you're trying to target to get on that page one.
Right. Drew is asking, have people seen results on these stacked press releases? I personally have. I've seen a client get into the 3-pack and rank on page 1, under the 3-pack also. Let's see, Leonard's asking how long will it take to see results? Again, that's going to, of course, depend on the competition, but I wish
I had the answer for that.
You'll see results. I'd say you'd see results within a month if you stacked a couple 2 or 3 press releases. Maybe quicker. You'd see some results quicker. You'd see great results, I would think, within a month what results you would see would, again, depend on the competition, the level of competition, and the URL you're targeting, because it needs to be optimized, obviously, and ready for Google to notice it and go, oh, let's bring this up to the front page.
So guys, I own. You're talking about results. I own 2 pay-per-lead websites in the UK. I've got a client, which I'll show you quickly, who has a I have a client that's number 1 and number 2 in Google Maps for Birmingham. I've got a client in London that's number 1. I've got a client in I can't remember which Greensville, is it, in the US?
Yeah, Greensville, South Carolina. Yeah.
Auto repair client which came to me in January, got him on page 1 within 2 months, I think it was. 2 months. Got in March. He contacted me himself because I don't normally check the results in America. He's contacted me and said, Madge, you've got. He owns his own SEO agency. I said, Madge, I've heard about your, what you're doing with PRs. Could you do one for me and see what results we get? He was positioned 7, guys. He's now number 1 in Greensville, South Carolina. Auto repairs in Greensville or something. It's in that. No, it's not transmission repair, Greensville. So he's in the top 3 for that already. I've got my own sites, pay-per-lead websites, ranking in London, UK, Birmingham. And what I tend to do is I only create pay-per-lead websites for industries that I have clients for already, okay? So I tend to do a 60-40 split, as in percentage, for each lead. So one of my sites is currently earning me between £1,500 and £2,000 per month, just by being in the top 3 of the map pack. So it just gives you not just to have clients, but also take it to another level, rent a website or sell the leads on that site if it's your own property.
Cool. Rob has a question. How often do you recommend we release a press release for our local clients?
If you're ordering more than one, Rob, I would drip feed them within a timescale of 2 to 3 weeks for each one. So let the first one settle down for a bit, and then we will write the second press release within about 2 weeks prior to the first one.
Okay. Did anybody else have questions about Madge's press release service, the done for you service, where he just writes them service, or his process, what he does with those press releases, whether you have him do it for you or you do it yourself? See if there's any more questions, because we've been on here for an hour and a half, and normally we don't go much longer than an hour and a half. So if there's questions, I'm going to ask Madge to stay and answer them if he can, but somebody wants you to go ahead and give them a recipe of exactly how to rank in the 3-pack quickly. My answer would be use RFR. Make sure the 3-pack is optimized. Use the posts, use the business site, use images, get reviews, and build links to all of those. And the press release can help with that. Any problem getting your links indexed?
Oh, the most important part I didn't even go over. Sorry, this is my bad, because it's really late over here. But I'll just quickly mention this, Terry. As I mentioned at the start of the webinar, guys, a lot of people were asking the question in a lot of the groups, indexing. One of the main reasons why I use press releases, because I can embed so much. So what I tend to do is embed the cloud properties inside of a PR and get them indexed that way. Just if you've guys got a problem with rating, why not use a PR service, because they get indexed instantly.
Cool. And keep in mind, the reason these press releases get indexed instantly is because they're news. You don't want to find out about a news item 3 weeks later. You want to find out about it now. Google understands that. That's also the reason the calendar module is so powerful, because those are events that are news. They can't wait and tell you about them later. They tell you about them right now. Drew asks, so you're saying keyword docs are more powerful than buffer docs? No, he's not saying that. What he's saying is this is the way he does it. That's not the way I do it. I use buffer docs. The beauty of this software is there are different ways of using it. You can use it the way that works best for you. And yes, the same system you use to rank GMBs you can use on any URL, whether you're ranking a video, whether you're ranking a client site. The idea is getting those links to build up for that client. And if it's a YouTube video, you don't really need a buffer doc because YouTube is a Google property. You can pile the links on that one. But if it's a client's inner page, maybe you want to, use a buffer doc and run all the links to that. Any way to get a sheet of URLs you want indexed crawled through the press release process? Yes, that's what Madge was just talking about, was you could use your press releases as an indexing service if you wanted, basically.
Mm-hmm. I can embed a sheet, I can embed a cloud property, a calendar, whatever you prefer. I don't know.
You saw Madge's price for $179. They will not only write the press release, they will cloud stack it for you, distribute it, cloud stack it for you, do HTML and PDF, keyword document and article stacking, and sheets for all of that. And Patrick of RFR fame is saying anyone that orders today from seeing this webinar, not on the replay, sorry folks, but orders today, Patrick will give you another license for RFR because you'll be needing to get a VA soon if you use this press release service. Because he's going to have a lot of more work. So that's a great deal there. Not only will you can sit back, let Madge get the press release written and distributed, do all your RFR work for you, and then hand you the recipe. You also can get an extra license for your RFR in the process. That's pretty hard to beat. Thank you, Patrick. Everybody loves you. How do you claim the license? Well, you claim the license. You buy this, and Madge will let Patrick know, hey, Dwayne bought my service from this webinar. Okay.
Yeah, Dwayne, or whoever asked the question.
Yeah. So if you buy today, Madge is going to know you did, and he will let Patrick know. So someone says, honestly, then we can just buy press releases done for you by Madge with the RFR stuff, and it's pretty much on autopilot. Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
yeah, guys, please keep in mind, don't expect everything to be done within 48 hours. There is a time frame, as in takes for the PR to be written, it takes 48 hours.
And then Madge, from working with Madge on press releases before, then he sends you the press release and says, how is this? And you can make corrections, changes, say, yeah, I love it. No, I don't, whatever, before it goes to the next process. So you don't have Madge go, oh, you want a press release? Oh, there it is. We printed it. And you go, oh, no, not that. I mean, you don't have to worry about that, because once it's written, you'll get to okay it. You'll get to proof it and say, yes, that's what I want, or no, I don't want that offer in there. Whatever the case is, you'll be able to get that press release right before he moves on from there. Dola says, I don't want my home address in the NAP. I do visit clients in their homes. Okay, so it would just be like you're doing a service business on Google Maps. You don't have to have your home address in there. Google knows your address anyway. Yeah, you can just tell, you can tell Madge what you want in it or what you don't want in it. That's not I know that because he's asked me, what do you want, a My Map or a Google Plane Map in there and stuff like that. So he does a good job of getting the information he needs from you, and you have the opportunity to say, I don't want that information, or I do want this in there. So I don't think you have a problem with that. Can we publish it on our blog first before it's submitted? As a matter of fact, yes, you can. Madge encourages that, in fact.
I'm whoever purchases, I normally message them and say, could you please put this on your blog if you've got access to it? Because I have come across people who haven't got access to the client's websites and they're unable to put on their blog. But I do want you to do that. That is very important.
Yes, he'll recommend that, because once you've put it on a property of yours, before it's got press release, it's got what is known as canonical. It's the true version as far as Google's concerned, because it was there first. So it carries some authority, and it doesn't roll off the front page like your press release would eventually if you did nothing else with it. So
yeah, if I show you guys something
there on your blog.
1 second, let me just go back to.
By the way, Dwayne says that's just awesome that you do that. So
1 second, guys. I want to show you something quickly. I think I've done it for this client. Okay, no, I haven't done it for this one. Which one was it? Oh, sorry, guys. I'm on the wrong.
that's okay. While he's looking, do we have any other questions about this? Can we repeat the offer? You had to step away. Sure. If you order through Madge's press release services today, through this, well, not through the webinar, through his page, Patrick is going to give you another license to the RFR software, so that when you get all the extra work, you can have a VA running the software also. It's a great deal. It doesn't count if you're watching on the replay. Sorry. One more reason to join my group and show up on the webinars.
I think I found it now, Terry. Sorry about that.
How many do we have to order? Well, you have to order one for Madge to get to work. The more you order, the more money you're saving, obviously. But you only have to order one in order to get the extra license. That right there is worth it. But if you order one, let me warn you, you'll get addicted and say, you know what, I got to order another one of these. But if you, like I said, order the done for you if you're new, and you'll get that recipe handed to you. This is how it works. And then you consider whether you want to do it yourself, have a VA do it, or keep having Madge do them for you. He'll do them as long as you order them. But if we order more over time, are there any discounts for bulk down the road? Well, it's hard to see down the road. But yes, Dwayne, you can buy credits, as it were, to use later. Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have to, if you go in and order 3 today, you don't have to use them all tomorrow. I mean, you'll have 3 in your account, basically, that you can use.
They roll over whenever you feel fit to use them. They will always be in your account, whether you use them today or 6 months down the line. You know.
There you go. So you can order them now, get them ahead of time. And I'll tell you, you're asking about discounts for bulk buying down the road. The discount is for getting them now, because I don't know how long Madge is going to keep this price up. This price was for my group, and he agreed to release it to everybody in RFR that was interested. And depending on the number of orders, things like that, I don't know how long he's going to leave this price available. It may be dependent upon numbers of orders, things like that. It may be dependent on how busy his clients make him. He may, decide he just doesn't have time to keep doing them for you and things like that. So get them now, because I don't know if you can tell us, Madge, how long this price is going to be up. Do you know?
As it says on the page, it is a limited time offer, guys. I haven't decided on the when I'll be switching it off, but I will notify everybody beforehand. It all depends on how busy I become with it, because again, I do have my own clients that I cater for as well. And if it becomes too much work, then I will say to you guys, you know what, I'm sorry, but I'll have to put it on hold for a time being or whatever. It all depends on, future circumstances.
Okay, well, there you go. Scott, how many press releases do you have to order? You only have to order one to get the special offer, if that's what you're wondering about.
Yeah.
Dwayne wants to know, can you use PayPal?
Yeah, we use only PayPal.
Yes, PayPal, yes.
Okay, guys, one thing I wanted to show you regarding the blog thing. As you can see from here, this was done 2 days ago, which was distributed to the network. But first, the client uploaded it to the blog 3 days ago.
Okay.
So 24 hours prior it going out to the network.
And the blog is at the top of the others.
Yeah, exactly. So your blog will always, if you've used the same title, it will always rank, your website will rank the highest.
Right. So to answer your question, Scott, you only need to order one to get the special. Dwayne says he's in for 5 magic press releases. And keep in mind, like I said, if you're fairly new to the software and you have, wondering how to get it to work right, this magic done for you service, like I said, it's half the price of PR Web without them even writing it for you. And then you'll have that recipe. Obviously, it's not the only way to do them, but it's one way, and you'll be able to look at that blueprint and go, okay, this is the way I need to do it in the future.
Yeah, like Terry said, everyone has their own way of working. I just took advantage of this idea of mine and thought, and I ran with it. And I've been getting results since September, guys. And it's not something that happened overnight. It's been happening for 6-7 months that I've been doing it, and it's still working.
And real quick, can you click over and show us what's the regular pricing?
Yeah, sure. Again, guys, the done for you.
Regular pricing doesn't include any done for you. That's
no.
Because that's for people who don't have RFR anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Vic up in just outside of Ontario says he's going to he'll take 2. Bridget's waiting on a confirmation email, so she's looking to order also. But yeah, these prices, keep in mind, are just for the press release, not for writing them and distributing them. Nothing to do with ranking.
The normal pricing, guys, I don't offer the whole done for you service. That is only for the RFR and Terry's group only. Okay. And
they wouldn't understand anyway what you were talking about if you said you were going to do cloud stacking.
They'll be like, what's Magic PR talking about? So this is only for you guys and girls. Guys, if you receive the confirmation email, it may end up in your junk or in your inbox, depending on which provider you're with. But check both inboxes because you'll receive a confirmation email, which you'll need to confirm. And then you can get in and start ordering. And what Patrick's offering as a free license. Patrick, do I get one as well, please? I could do with another one.
Yeah, I've ordered press releases. Let me see. And I'm in. This is my moment. If you allow me, this is my moment of self-promotion here. If you, I'm going to put in the box here the link to my group. If you're not a member of my group, I'd love to have you as a member of the group.
Terry, can I say something about your group for a second?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is
guys,
not rehearsed.
I've known Terry for 6 or 7 months, since September of last year. And he used to help me and advise me for free. Okay? He didn't used to charge me anything. He used to just give advice for nothing because he's one of us and he wants to help and as much as he can. And him having this group and the amount of information and advice he gives in the group, guys, it's a no-brainer for $10 a month. For the amount of value that you get for that $10 is a lot, and I would honestly recommend it to everybody. Whoever's not joined, guys, I don't know what you're really missing out.
Well, thank you for saying so. Listen, Dwayne's on here, says he's planning on planting this press release. I'm reading this aloud because other people might like this idea. I'm planning to plant the press release onto a G site with a 301 redirect widget and link from the press release to the G site. And then the G site, of course, leads to the money site. He wants to test this method out and see what happens. And then he says, "Mwahahaha." So,
That does sound like a good idea, guys, because I'm also testing something right now, which I did mention to Terry before. I'm able to 301 a cloud property to any site I want, but it's currently in beta form. So once I know a bit more about it, and once it's out of beta, I will let the RFR group know about that as well.
yeah, this is both the regular, if you remember the Skype group, you know this. This is great Skype groups. People are willing to share, help each other, quite often, all the time. You can put your question in the group, one of the groups, and someone will give you an answer pretty quickly most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, guys, by the way,
Bruce has a quick question I'm going to answer. To get Patrick's offer, you just need to order a press release from Madge today, not from the replay.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to order more than one, but you need to order only one to get the extra license. And Madge, when he gets your order, he will coordinate with Patrick, and so it may be a couple days before you get it. I mean, this wasn't planned out ahead of time, so but you'll get an extra license.
Yeah, you know what? Patrick really threw that on me, but it's a very, very nice suggestion, because a RFR license on another computer or for one of your VAs, if you've got a VA working for you, it's a no-brainer.
So Dwayne says, is the replay going to be available in an hour or so? The exact time of the replay is up to the rendering when it gets done rendering, but it doesn't matter. The offer from Patrick is not for the replay. It's for if you order from this webinar, not from seeing it on a replay. So, keep that in mind. Don't think, well, I'll just wait on the replay, because you may not be able to, you won't be able to get that order. Couple of quick questions before Patrick says these extra licenses, he's going to be doing them manually. So, keep that in mind. It's not going to be an instantaneous thing anyway. Gil asks, do we get all the done for you? Do we get the files so we can import them into our own RFR? We can continue pushing a PR further down the road. You're going to get the URLs when he, if you do the done for you, he's going to give you the URLs for all the cloud stacking and stuff like that. So you can then insert them make them your target URLs and stuff if you want to keep pushing them.
Yeah, guys, you get two files for the report. So you get a PDF report that will look exactly like this, with the title, with all the new sites that we distribute to. Plus, you'll get the CSV file, which is this. So all the 450 or 500 links will be on, and you can use them and do whatever you want with them.
Okay. Yeah, Bridget seems to be having a problem with her confirmation link, but you can also in Skype after the webinar send Madge a message and say, "Hey, I'm trying to order from you." If you can't find your confirmation link, he'll sort it out for you, I'm sure. So
I will do, guys.
Let's see. And Patrick's going to see if there's a way so that you can get the, with the save and load feature, you can get the saves for those, for the done for you. So then you can just load them into your computer and load them on your HTML or your article stack or things like that. So that'll be cool. Either way, though, you'll get the URLs. Bridget, Madge, what's your Skype handle? If not, Bridget, I'll just connect you to them when we get off of this, okay? Sally says she just placed her order. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sally.
Could you, and in the box here, well, I'll do it. Somebody want to know if you could put the link to your service
Yeah, sure.
in the, let's see, magicpr.net/
Terry's special offer.
Terry's. I think that's right. Yeah. So there's links there. Joe placed an order.
Thank you, Joe.
Carolyn ordered. And yes, there's a link to my group in the chat. If you can't find it, it's terrystipsandstrategies.com. It's in the RFR group somewhere too.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the RFR Skype group as well as Terry's group if no one has it. But guys, I just want to show you the power of press releases, especially when you stack them.
And I think this has been a really helpful webinar, not just for the newer people, but for everybody. And if you like this, I do every other Sunday. I do a webinar. Madge isn't on every one of them, but it's different ways of using the software and things that we can use on it that you may not have considered, because Leon has some good training on setting things up and using the software, but we try to go beyond that. Some other stuff that you can do using the software, because it can make so many things easier. Let's see, make sure we don't have any more questions. Just thank you. Yeah, lots of thanks. And Friday, don't forget there's a webinar for the whole RF group where Lisa's going to come on. And I've spoken to Lisa before, and she's in some SEO groups that I'm in. She knows her, if you'll pardon the expression, knows her shit, and is very methodical. She's one of those people that is overly organized, way too organized for a human, but that's good. She'll show us some really good methods that some people will really like. So okay, Matt, just so you know, somebody's having some trouble with the buy buttons, going to a buy page.
If they touch base with me on Skype, Terry.
Okay. And let's see what else we got in here. Some more placed an order. Thank you for your time. Having trouble getting the buy buttons there. Drew says, Madge was about to show us something about stacked press releases. He did show you something about, that was what the purpose of this picture he's showing here. Each press release is pushing the next, and because he put them on the blog first, that blog is ranking higher than the press releases for the same keywords, and that blog it's not going to roll off of like it might on a lot. Learning a lot. Thanks. Great value. Awesome, Madge. We really appreciate your dedication and willingness to offer your time to members and to help them out.
Thank you, guys.
Delinda says you guys are awesome. Thanks. And Delinda, may I say condolences. I won't go any further, but just sorry.
From you, Delinda.
Okay, I think that's going to be it. Madge, I appreciate you coming on, helping me out with a webinar of great info and this one, not just for my group, but for anybody in RF. And I'll talk soon. And for everybody in my group, thanks. You guys are great. And if you're not in the group, well, that's your own fault. And thanks again. I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar. Everybody, appreciate it. The replay will be posted later. I'll do that, Bridget. Replay will be posted later, but you won't be getting the same deal on getting a free extra copy as you're getting now. So keep that in mind. Madge, you are the host right now, so you actually have the option to go ahead and end the down in the bottom on the more to the far right.
Yeah.
You'll see an end meeting on there, and you get to end it since you're hosting right now.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you, Terry, for having me on. Take care.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.